has given an actual number that we hadn't heard before, and he says that he believes 10,000 ISIS fighters have been killed. What do you think of that number?
Well, I'm sure Tony Blinken is ruining the day that he said that to the French media, because body counts are really not a very smart way to talk about what's going on. I hate talking about Vietnam, but, you know, this is what really bogged down everybody in Vietnam, the idea of a body count. They may be trying to walk that back, but here's the thing. It doesn't really matter, because what they're doing is getting thousands and thousands of more recruits, and what they're doing is getting thousands and thousands of more acres of territory, whether it's in Iraq or whether it's in Syria. And the fight that the U.S. and the West has is not going well right now. I've spoken to the Deputy CIA Director, former Mike Morell, who said, I don't see a strategy. Even if we're doing something in Iraq, he called it a hammer. We have no anvil in Syria. These two are inevitably linked. The U.S. and other world powers got together in Paris on Monday, and they came out with virtually no strategy. And one of the big attempts at a strategy, as I said, is to get the Sunnis in Iraq to band together and push back the extremists like they did under the surge and the awakening in 2007. It is not happening.
What about that argument and that strategy to help arm the people fighting ISIS better?
Well, as you know, this administration has gone back and forth over the last several years, poo-pooing the notion, saying they'll do it, not doing it. And right now, there seems to be, as best as I can find out from all my interviews and conversations in the field, that a very small group of people are being armed and trained, if at all. And there is this claim from the field that the United States does not want to hand over weapons to the moderate rebels unless they pledge not to fight Assad. Well, you know, this is craziness on the ground, craziness, because now Assad is considered to be helping ISIS against the rebels, because they don't want to get into the fight against Assad. They just want to do the fight against ISIS. But everybody who I speak to says that the two are inevitably and inextricably linked. You can't just fight ISIS. You have to have a strategy against Assad as well. And this is a big problem. And all these years later, now, not to be arming and training those moderate rebels, which still exist. It's not too late, says former President Clinton to me recently, says Mike Morell to me recently, but it may be too little still, and that's a problem.
Christiane, always great to get all of your information. Thanks so much for sharing.